All right, so happy National Study Abroad Day and welcome to the UCEAP 101 Your Adventure Starts Here presentation. This session will cover the key questions that students often have when they consider studying abroad. And we will also be providing resources for the next steps. For many, studying abroad is a life-changing experience. It provides participants with the opportunity to learn about the world and grow as individuals, while at the same time boosting their future prospects. And with that in mind, let's start with how UCEAP works. This portion of the webinar will highlight the benefits of studying abroad with UCEAP and provide an overview of the academic and financial aspects of the program. So UCAP was established over 60 years ago and is the official study abroad provider for the entire UC system. Studying abroad with UCEAP means that you maintain your UC student status throughout and do not need to take a leave of absence from the UC. You receive UC credit for the coursework you complete abroad, so the classes will show up on your UC transcript and count towards your UC GPA. If you are a financial aid recipient, your UC financial aid is applicable to your program costs. Additionally, you will have an extensive support network that includes your campus study abroad office, the UCAP system-wide office, and your on-site contacts at each location. UCEAP participants also receive travel insurance coverage and access to 24/7 emergency assistance.
So as we just mentioned, all coursework completed on UCEAP is guaranteed UC credit. So here is an outline of the steps to make that happen. So first, you'll register for classes with the host institution abroad and share your enrollment with UCEAP so we can catalog each of those courses as UC courses. We'll give them a UC course number, course title, and units. Then, after the program ends, UCEAP receives grades from abroad and converts them to UC letter grades. We report those grades to your UC Office of the Registrar, who posts all course, unit, and grade information to your UC transcript, and it's factored into your cumulative units and GPA. And then finally, you work with your college or department academic advisor to petition for the courses from abroad to fulfill specific degree requirements, such as GEs, breadth, or major credit.
The total cost of your study abroad experience will depend on you and your program selection. Expenses vary by location due to differences with the local cost of living, exchange rates, and individual spending habits. But on average, a year abroad costs about the same as a year at your UC campus, and UCAP programs typically cost less than other study abroad programs. Program cost estimates provided by UCAP include your UC cohort tuition and just about everything we expect you'll need on the program, like round-trip airfare, visas, housing, and meals. As mentioned earlier, UC Financial Aid travels with UCEAP students, so those who receive UC Financial Aid can apply their grants, loans, and scholarships to their UCEAP program. Even if a student has not previously received financial aid, they may be eligible when they study abroad. You apply for your financial aid with a FAFSA application, and the campus financial aid office will package your financial aid based on the program budget created by UCEAP. UCEAP also offers several scholarships that UCEAP participants are eligible to apply for. One of the great things about UCAP scholarships is that it will replace loans before other types of financial aid. There are also other study abroad scholarships available through outside sources.
UCEAP programs are developed to help students accomplish their academic, career, and personal goals, and there are many factors to consider as you decide what program is the best fit for you. So in the next few slides, we'll talk about some of the factors you should consider as you narrow down your search. First, location is an important consideration. UCEAP has programs based in over 35 countries. So if there's a region of the world you're interested in or have always wanted to travel to, that could help you narrow down your options. You can explore the dynamic cultures of East, South, and Southeast Asia, the easygoing vibes of Oceania, the vast diversity of sub-Saharan Africa, or marvel at the juxtaposition of ancient landmarks next to vibrant cities in the Middle East. Europe features UCEAP's largest number of possible destinations for your study abroad journey. And finally, programs in the Americas range from major metropolises to small research stations in biodiverse regions.
Factor in your academic schedule along with timing of personal obligations that could influence when you choose to study abroad. The UCEAP academic calendar begins with the summer term and includes programs that run during the summer, fall, winter, spring, and year. Most universities around the world operate on a semester system, so you will find that many of the programs offered by UCEAP are semester long because of this. No worries for students from quarter campuses, though. You are eligible to participate on both our quarter and semester length programs. You will just be abroad longer when on a semester program, and your units will reflect this.
UCEAP categorizes all our programs based on experience type. So as you navigate our website, it will give you a general idea of what to expect on a given program. There are several experience types for you to consider. So when choosing a program, it's important to ask yourself about your priorities and what you hope to accomplish while abroad. So on an immersion program, you will be in class with local students and select courses from host university departments. With an international program, you will choose classes from a list designed for study abroad students, and you'll learn alongside other international students. Our internship and research programs provide you with hands-on experience that can be applied to your academic and career goals. And while research and internships are a built-in component of these experience types, they are also optional components of many of our other programs. Language programs offer the opportunity for you to concentrate on learning the language and culture of your host country. Themed programs focus on a specific topic or area of study. It gives you in-depth knowledge on that topic, such as business, psychology, public health, or marine biology, for example. Multi-site is just like it sounds. You will visit and study in 2 or more locations and explore the unique perspectives in each site. And finally, with UC curriculum programs, you choose courses from a short custom menu designed for the University of California, while also meeting students from around the UC system. Now, as you are considering a study abroad program, it's important to think about how the coursework you could take abroad can work for you. Perhaps you're hoping to apply those courses towards specific UC degree requirements, such as fulfilling a foreign language requirement, upper division electives, or GEs. Maybe there are course topics offered at the host institution that just aren't available at your UC campus. Or maybe you've completed most of your degree requirements already, so taking classes abroad would be for personal enrichment. This planning is very individual to you, your major, your goals, and where you are in your progress towards your degree. So for this reason, when you begin the conversation with your college or major academic advisor, together you can review your degree plan or degree audit, and they may have recommendations for when is the best time for you to study abroad and what kind of requirements you may need to focus on completing abroad in order to stay on track towards your degree. Before submitting a UCEAP application, you should look carefully at the course options that are available on any program you're considering. And in a few minutes, we'll walk through the UCEAP website and show you where you can find academic information for any of our programs.
Studying abroad is a personal journey. Motivation, priorities, goals, and needs vary by each individual, and program selection should involve careful thought and preparation. Depending on your personal and identity-related circumstances, there may be additional details that you want to consider. How do you plan to fund your program? In addition to UCEAP scholarships, there may be other ways to help make your program costs more manageable. It is possible that some terms may have more aid available than others due to your campus's financial aid cycle. If you are a non-resident, summer programs do not charge non-resident tuition. And if needed, there is an extended payment plan option designed to give students an opportunity to pay their UCEAP program fees over an extended period of time. Additionally, students who participate in an internship or research project during their program may be eligible to apply for a UCEAP award after your program ends. These awards start at $750 and recognize students who have distinguished themselves through internships and research conducted while studying abroad with UCEAP. Do you receive medical care or see a counselor or take any medication that you will need to continue while abroad? If so, you will want to contact your doctor well in advance to discuss a treatment plan for you while you are abroad. Certain medications, services, and specialists might not be available in some countries, so you may need to make other plans. If you receive disability accommodations at your UC, it is important to know that accommodations abroad are not guaranteed. Early disclosure is important. The process to request accommodations can take several months, and it involves working closely with your campus disabilities office and UCEAP. Are you transferring to the UC? Transfer students are invited to consider UCEAP for study abroad. Each UC campus has its own guidelines for the participation of transfer students. Some require that transfer students must first complete a term on campus, while others allow transfer students to study abroad as soon as they enroll at UC. Check with your UC Campus Study Abroad office regarding their specific requirements. If you are a minor, there will be additional application steps for you and your parent or guardian to complete. Some programs do have age requirements, so confirm your eligibility before applying. Are you planning to bring a dependent with you? If so, be aware that there will be many logistics to arrange ahead of time for both you and your dependent. Due to visa, housing, and other limitations, certain programs may not be possible. If you are an undocumented or DACA student, you can consult with an immigration attorney free of charge on your UC campus about your situation and options for studying abroad. And these are just some examples of things to consider as you search for the destination that best suits you. Planning early is key.
All right, before we go into how to apply, I want to give a quick walkthrough of the website. Okay, so this is the UC EAP homepage, and let me see here. So there are a couple of different ways to search for programs when you are on the UCEAP website. This Explore tab gives you three options right here. So you can search by regions. We've grouped all of our countries by region. And so if you click on any of these countries, it will show you all of the programs available in that country. Fields of study. So if you're interested in a particular field of study, you can click on one of these and see all of the programs that offer coursework in that field of study. And obviously, this is not an exhaustive list of all of the fields of study or majors available in the UC, but it is some of the most popular fields of study. And then finally, experiences. These are the experience types that we talked about previously in the presentation. So say you're really interested in research. You can click on this and see all of the programs where research is the primary or a required component of that program. And I just quickly want to note, you may notice that there's also a Global Start experience type here, which we didn't talk about in the presentation. This is for incoming freshmen who would be studying abroad during their first quarter or semester at UC. And then there's a fourth way to search for programs, and that is this Find a Program button here up at the top. And you can see we've got a lot of programs, and then there's these program cards which list each program and then a little bit of information about that program and a bunch of different filters on the left-hand side. So this includes all of the search options we just talked about. So you can search by location, by field of study here, and by experience type, as well as a few other filters, as you can see. So I'm going to run through an example of how you can apply these filters to help narrow down your program options. And the first filter that I want to draw your attention to is this courses taught in. And it will show you basically every single language in which you can take courses while you're on a UCEAP program. So say you really want to study in Italian, but I find this filter to be really helpful to search for coursework taught in English. Now, obviously, there are programs in English-speaking countries like England and Australia. Those are very obvious, but there's also a lot of courses taught in English in non-English speaking locations where you can take courses in English. So that's super helpful. Now, the only caveat to that is that it will show you all of the programs where courses are available in English, but that doesn't necessarily mean that courses are going to be available in English in the degree or area or subject matter that you're looking to take courses. So when you use this filter, just be aware that you're going to have to do additional research on what English taught courses are available on that program. Okay, so as you can see, we have a lot of programs where courses are taught in English, so I will continue to apply some filters. So I'm going to use disciplines here, and disciplines are just very broad academic categories that usually encompass more than one academic field within them. So I will select international studies and politics. And when you select a discipline, it will populate a subfilter called subject areas. And these are more narrow academic fields within the discipline that you select. Let's go with political science. Okay, that definitely helped, but that's still a lot of programs to choose from. So I'm going to search by location. So you can search by region, country or area or city. These are all related to location. So let's go region, and we'll go to the Americas. Okay, that definitely brought down our search to a much more reasonable number of programs. But let me walk through what the remaining filters are all about. So experience types, we talked about that before. Term, if there is a specific term that you are looking to study abroad in, say summer, you can filter for that here and see all of the summer programs that we offer. And then these remaining filters have to do with eligibility requirements for our programs. So say you're a sophomore and you're interested in studying abroad. If you select sophomore as the class level, it will show you all of our programs where sophomores are eligible to participate, for example. Okay, we'll go back up here and I'm going to pick two different programs. We'll go with this Human Rights and Cultural Memory program. And as you can see, we list the experience type right here. And this is a multi-site program. It takes place between Argentina and Chile. And then it's also a themed program, the theme being human rights. So we'll open that one. And let's do the Tec de Monterrey. Okay, and as you can see, this is an immersion program. And that means, again, that you are taking classes with local students in the classes that they are taking as they are working towards their own degrees at the host institution. So when you go to the program page, it will show you that kind of quick information that we saw on the previous page, just kind of at a glance information that's the same here. If you scroll down a little bit further, it will give you a bit more details about the program and more details about the location or host institution where you will be studying. For detailed information about the program, we're going to navigate between these tabs here on the left-hand side. So we'll go to Dates and Eligibility. And there are some very basic eligibility requirements for every UCEAP program that's listed here. And then program-specific requirements are listed below. You can see each of the terms that you could study abroad on this program, and then just kind of a general timeline of when that term takes place. And then this is a drop-down menu, and it will show you all of the eligibility requirements specific to that program and that term. Academics. So the academic tabs have a lot of information. It is very helpful to read through them, though. It's very helpful information. For example, it will show you what are the language of instruction or languages of instruction on this program. Is language study required on this program, or is it optional? It will also show you how many courses or how many units you would need to take while you are participating on the program. And it will walk through the different types of courses that are going to be available on the program. So the program we're looking at, again, is an immersion program. So you basically have the entire host institution catalog, course catalog to choose from as if you are a local student. So in this case, we've listed links to the host institution, the tech website here under the catalogs and resources section. So if you go to these web links here, you can access course information. So course description, syllabi, schedules, all of that sort of thing is going to be available under here. Contrast that to the human rights page. Now this is a set curriculum program, meaning all students who participate on this program take the same 5 classes. And because of that, all of the classes are the same for everyone. We've listed each of the courses here, and each of the course titles is a link directly to the syllabus. So that is very, very straightforward. Okay, back to the tech academic page. We do include a bit of information about the host country and host institution academic culture here. And grades will give you a general timeline for when to expect grades. Just be aware that grades on all UCEAP programs are not available as quickly as grades at your UC campus. This will show you the different types of housing that are available on the program. So this particular program, you can choose from apartments or homestays, and further information about each of those housing types is available below. And cost. So this cost tab will show you everything that's included in the cost estimate. It's a lot of stuff. And then down below, you can customize your estimate. So you can select each of these categories as fits your particular personal circumstances, and it will provide you an customized estimate for your circumstances. Just a quick mention that cohort here, that just means that the year that you entered UC. So that is really helpful as you are doing your financial planning as well. And support. So this page shows you all of the support that is available on UCEAP, which is a fair amount, actually. So there's information about before you go, while you are abroad, and when you return. So you can read all of this information on these pages here. It might also be helpful information that could help to reassure any parents, guardians, family members, or friends who might be curious as well. And then finally, how to apply. This page provides you the step-by-step process for applying to a UCEAP program. 4 steps. There's also a how to apply video tutorial here that you can watch as well. And then further below is just additional information about the application and acceptance process. And I'm sure as part of the application process, you are maybe wondering, well, what is the application deadline for any of these programs? And you can find that information on the website as well under Prepare. It's the first item here on that drop-down menu. And we have listed all of the deadlines for the 25-26 academic year. Those are the applications that are currently open or available. And this is all of our programs. It's a very long list, but you can see any of our programs and their application deadlines. And so I just quickly want to mention that not only do we list the application deadline here in this column, but we also list the date that the application opens or opened. So a lot of our fall programs opened last fall, and a lot of our spring 26 programs will be opening later this spring. So other information that might be helpful as you are looking through the UCEAP website, under the Prepare tab, Health and Safety, that would be a good web page to look at. Paying for study abroad is helpful as well, and scholarships is always a good page to check out too. There are a lot of UCEAP scholarships that are available, as you can see here as I'm scrolling down, so you can look at any of these scholarships for further information. And as you're looking at the scholarships page, if you have any questions about what's listed on this page, you can always reach out to our scholarships team at this email address. And then just generally speaking, as you are searching the UCEAP website, at the bottom of any web page is this general info@UCEAP email address. So any questions you might have, feel free to reach out to us there, and we'll make sure that your question is routed to the appropriate advisor who can provide you further information. But if you have a particular program or country in mind, you can also reach out directly to the advisors who work with those programs. So under Discover, learn about UCEAP. And then UCEAP contacts, we have all of our contacts listed. So there's actually 4 different staff members who work with each of our programs, and you can read a little bit more about what our roles are within our programs. And then down below is a list by country of the advisors who work with those programs. So that is the UCEAP website. Let me open up the PowerPoint again.
All right, so now that you know the basics of how studying abroad with UCP works and how to choose a program, let's move on to the application process. Once you select a program and confirm that you meet the eligibility requirements, look up the application open dates and deadline so that you know when you need to apply. Keep in mind that the application deadlines can be as early as 9 months before the program starts. If you are wanting to study abroad this coming summer, fall, or year, you will need to act quickly because applications for those programs opened back in November and their application cycle is wrapping up. For spring 2026 programs, the UCP portal will open at 9 a.m. Pacific time on April 15th. Though you can create multiple applications, you will only be able or allowed to submit 1 application per term abroad. So this means that you can only submit 1 application for summer, 1 for fall, and if you want to keep going, 1 for spring. Spaces and programs are allocated on a first come first served basis, so plan to submit your application as soon as possible. Programs are open until filled or until the application deadline, whichever comes first. Most UCAP programs do not have a capacity limit, so as long as there is space available and you meet all program eligibility requirements and deadlines, you should be cleared to participate. Students generally need to complete 3 applications: a campus application, a UCEAP application, and a host institution application. After you get approved for participation by both your campus and UCEAP, you will receive instructions for the host institution application, along with other program details such as housing, visa, and program dates. On a related note, apply for or renew your passport. Many countries require that passports must be valid for at least 6 months after your scheduled return, and the processing time for US passports is about 2 to 3 months right now.
All right, so here on this slide, we have listed some further resources for you as you're figuring out which program you're interested in. So the first is the UCEAP YouTube channel. So you're welcome to visit that website to access our catalog of helpful videos. We are also offering an Exploring Your Identity Abroad series with webinars throughout the year in collaboration with the UC Campus Study Abroad offices. And lastly, here is a link to access contact information for UCEAP program teams and Campus Study Abroad offices when you have questions.
We hope this presentation has provided you with a starting point on your study abroad journey and encourage you to explore the UCAP website for detailed information about UCAP and our program options. You should visit your Campus Study Abroad office, their website, or the How to Apply section on any program page of the UCAP website for information on application steps and deadlines. We also offer virtual advising, where you can schedule an appointment to have an online call with a UCEAP advisor to talk about our programs in more detail. You will find the link to make an appointment through the QR code on this slide. Once you have determined which program you are going to apply to, you can start an application by selecting the Apply Now button on the UCEAP website. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Our general email is on this slide. We will now move on to the Q&A portion of the webinar. You are welcome to send us any questions you have right now through the chat or Q&A box.